everybody. I want to do this live tonight. It's an incredible, explosive story of sheer truth of the firearms bans and gun grab that's coming here across Canada. The story of Justice Minister Tyler Shandro, Solicitor General of Alberta, under Danielle Smith, and everybody, this has never ever been researched. It's never been published or investigated like you're going to get today here for the first time in Alberta, Canadian, and First Peoples history. It is a whopper. It's a whopper. And let me tell you how it all started. I have to thank first Janet Hurst Savas. She brought this to my attention. Tyler Shandro's written publication on the Government of Alberta's website. Folks, I'm a middle-aged man. I've tagged Corey Morgan and Marilyn Burns, two former Wild Rosers with a history much the same as mine in Alberta politics, different ways and maybe some different time periods. But High River is a story that's now been broken. I did it tonight, during my work breaks, and I went through it, and I'm shocked, and I'll tell you folks, there's a lot of bullshit, I'm going to say bullshit, conspiracy theories out there. We get them every day. And Janet, she shared a lot of stuff with me. I look at it. Nope. Garbage. No offense. But tonight of all nights, going through my messages, I opened because I saw the Government of Alberta logo. I click on it. I read Tyler Shandro's publication. Folks, I went through the gun grab. I went through it in 2012. I went through long gun registries before that with the Liberals. When I read what Tyler Shandro, Justice Minister of Alberta, Solicitor General of Alberta, underneath Premier Danielle Smith, I was floored at the things he was talking about, because I've seen it and lived it before, many years ago. Took us back to High River, and I thought, this reads today like exactly what was done as an experiment on High River, Alberta. Corey, Maryland, Albertans, Canadians, First Peoples. I'm about to blow the doors off of everybody here in this High River story. So, Tyler Shandro talks about the Liberal experiment the RCMP are going to do on gun grabbing and training in Prince Edward Island. Population 155,000. Not unlike the federal and provincial boundary housing High River, Alberta. And in the exact same manner he describes what the Liberals are going to do is exactly what was done in High River. Same federal boundary population, provincial boundary population. To a T. Now, folks, it gets more incredible. We're going to go back to 2013. Did you know that the Prime Minister of Canada at that time was one Stephen Harper from Calgary, Alberta? I know all about it because I campaigned for the man. I left Ralph Klein. I was a graduated economist and ran to Stephen Harper from Calgary, very close to the federal and provincial ridings of High River. very close to Stephen Harper. He knew them very well. Now, folks, Stephen Harper ascended a Governor General of Canada. And did you know who his Governor General is? He's alive and well today. David Johnson. David Johnson. Queen Elizabeth II decorated him personally. Had a meeting with him personally when he was chosen by a panel of the Catholic Church, Jesuits, and the Absolute University of the Laurentian and Miguel. Elites, all under Queen Elizabeth II. Top selected committee by Queen Elizabeth II. I kid you not. David Johnson is now a retired colonel of the Canadian Armed Forces. The most highest decorated and empowered ever in Canadian history over the RCMP. He holds Queen Elizabeth's personal merit and stamp of power over the RCMP in Canada. In 2013, David Johnson, Governor then General of Canada, had the most stroke any Governor Generals ever had in the history of Canada over the RCMP. He was bound and sworn to Conservative Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Now, it's going to get really incredible here, folks. Very incredible. Go look at his merit awards. I looked it all up. I went through it all. It's all published on the UK Parliament website, and it's all there. What's not listed in Canada, all found there. Read miles today. Ted Menzies was the federal MP for High River 2013. Folks, did you know what his cabinet position was? Secretary of State of Finance, meaning he stamped and approved the money allocation for the RCMP to storm and raid under the experiment that Tyler Sandro says Liberals are designing, that they got from Stephen Harper and Ted Menzies, who was the federal MP for High River, his own home riding, where he stamped the federal minister's finance to contract the RCMP to raid all those houses, kick in the doors during the flood, during the emergency order, and raid all their firearms. Ted Menzies. Did you know that Ted resigned right after that? Do you know what Ted Menzies' job is today? He's in the globalist billionaire outfit as CEO. He retired in 2013, November, after all the shit hit the fan in High River, his riding, where he approved and stamped and signed off the RCMP seizure in High River when all those people were evacuated, kicked in their doors, took their guns. He is now the CEO of a $1 billion United Kingdom agri-grow global company. He had no business running, no experience previous of that. Order in Council, in Privy Council, where he recorded and stamped off the money sent to the RCMP to go raid High River's guns. He was the MP for all those people in High River. No one's ever published this. And immediately after he resigned, he went on that same year to become the CEO of a UK $1 billion agri-go company. He has no business running. For some reason, they handed him the keys and ultimate wealth in the United Kingdom. What's going on here, folks? I don't see any Liberals. Do any of you? I don't see any Liberals at this point in the High River gun raid. No, folks, It's going to get more explosive. Did you know who was the MLA for High River, the provincial constituency? Guess who was the MLA elected? Wild Rose leader Danielle Smith. She was in on it too. Now, folks, if you don't believe that, I can tell you she crossed the floor the very next year. Crossed the floor. She's now Premier of Alberta. I can show you everybody involved here is lucratively rich or holding a pristine position. And not one of them is a registered Liberal. Not a one of them in any of those left parties. They were crowned and they wrote the design of the Liberal gun grab being enacted today. Justin Trudeau is Prime Minister of Canada. He's pulled the order and councils, meaning they're top secret from all of you. They're secret. High River is a secret. But as I tell you today, everybody in the position of power in connection with High River, all Conservative, that order of council was made that year. Justin Trudeau and his minister have pulled the Conservatives' playbook. Tyler Shandro writes a story because Danielle Smith was involved. She crossed the floor of the Conservatives. I watched my federal MP in Stony Plain, Dane Lloyd, back Danielle Smith, as all the Conservatives federally did. Wild Rose? Why would they support her for UCP? Unless, of course, she was part of that federal order and council. She sold all her High River constituents out, the people of High River, and had their guns confiscated when they were in a national emergency of flooding. She participated, she signed off, she swore oath of secrecy. Folks, the pieces all fit. She crossed the floor the next year. I was there in Wild Rose. I watched her go nuts and tell us, this is my party. I watched her go ballistic. I watched her through this provincial election for premier that she cheated into getting. Not a real election. Ran in a whole nother riding she doesn't even live in. She stole that premiership with the sponsorship of the federal Conservatives, because she stole the guns along with all the other traitors to the people of Alberta and all Canadians and all First Peoples. Because if you think that these evil tyrants who are all tied to globalists, every single one of them, can show you all the people, participants in High River, they're all wealthy or in extreme positions today. Why is Ted Menzies, who resigned just literally a month and a half later and became the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar globalist agrico company out of the UK? Go look it up. What the hell is he doing there? Unless, of course, him, Harper, the royal family with their David Johnson, highly decorated, highly empowered Governor General, who has two of the most prestigious powers encrusted in him by Queen Elizabeth II for military and police. And folks, that's what Governor General has. And Queen Elizabeth gave him that power. Appointed by Stephen Harper from a panel of the Catholic Church, Jesuits. You can look it all up, folks. Real, credible, verifiable. This story is unbelievable. It's got to be shared. It's got to get out there. People need to know. The Liberal gun grab was taken from the Conservatives. The model made from High River, Alberta. A secret order in council. And if you don't believe it, Go look at all those participants. Federal MP, provincial MLA, Danielle Smith, federal MP, Ted Menzies, Governor General of Canada, David Johnston, and Stephen Harper. Not a Liberal in the bunch, but a sellout Wild Rose leader who took the money and has taken the prestige. That's reality. She's Premier of Alberta today. That's my video. Get it out there. The gun grab the Liberals are going to be participating in, they got from the Conservatives. They got the model from High River, Alberta, created by the Conservatives in a secret order and council. There were 7 made in Stephen Harper's time. There were 11 made now in Justin Trudeau's reign of terror. The most any premiers or prime ministers have done in Canadian history, and they do more and more. We're becoming more autocratic. There is no left and right, only liars, cheats, evil thieves, globalist pigs, divine first-class tyrants. This video is dangerous to share. This story is dangerous to share. But it's easily pieced together and it makes sense. God bless everybody. Share, share, share. Get it out there. It all fits. It all fits. Anyone can look it all up. I will put a link in the title to the one I just made tonight, showing all the participants. No Liberals there, folks. It's about truth. It's about truth. I hope Corey Morgan and Marilyn Burns appreciate this video. Bye now. Thanks, Janet. Every once in a while, even conspiracy theorists get a good one, and you did. You did. Thank you very much.